All right, everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Colton Posey Fishing. Today we're doing the weekly fishing report. If you're new here, what that is every week I break down what the fish are doing on my home lake. You can mimic it all around the country. You may be a little bit further behind. You may be a little bit further ahead, depending on your water temperatures, weather conditions, all that good stuff. But either way, it's valuable information no matter where you are. If that interests you, make sure to like. It helps me out a whole lot. Subscribe. I got you covered when it comes to anything bass fishing. Comment down below if you have any questions, any suggestions, or you just want to talk bass fishing. I love hearing from you guys. All right, guys, so the first thing I want to talk about is, where are the bass? What are the bass doing right now? And we're in that spawn pattern, okay? So this week, noticed a lot of fish has been on beds, a lot of pre-spawn fish. Haven't really caught any post-spawn fish. All these fish are just fat, healthy, and they're ready to eat. They're competing for food. Now, with that being said, I do want to say I don't bed fish that much, really, at all, unless I just kind of get lucky, and I just have a really hard time seeing the fish, so I don't really focus on. So the baits that I'm going to talk about is going to be more focused towards pre-spawn and post-spawn fish. You can use them either or, just kind of adjust them accordingly. But I do want to say this week it's hot, okay? So we're in those 80-degree air temps or water temperatures, or the warmest water that we found today is right at 70 degrees, okay? Right now the creek that we're in, as far back as we are, we're probably what, 2 miles back?
Every bit of it.
Every bit of 2 miles back. And it's right at 69 degrees. So, we get a little bit further back, a little bit shallower water, we're going to get in those 70-degree water temps. But with that being said, next week we've got that cold front coming through, so the fishing's going to be completely changing. Okay, we're going to have overnight freezes and stuff like that, late freeze. So these fish are kind of going to pull out. But right now, focusing on those points that are leading back up into your creek, so what we call secondary points. What we really focused on this week is pinch points, so areas where the lake narrows down. Maybe there's a bridge or something that they've got to go through to get to where they're going. Okay, now the other thing is finding fish in the very, very backs of creeks, typically where there's going to be some run-ins and stuff like that, and it's not necessarily wind protected. Most of those are pre-spawn fish. They may not be this long, and some of them may be this long, but they're this big around. They're just healthy, chunky fish, and those are the fish that I typically like to catch, because it doesn't require me to see those fish. I just kind of guesstimate, just the old school beat the bank, and just keep moving, covering water and stuff like that until I find them and make multiple casts in the same area. So let's talk about the three baits. All right, so the first bait that I want to talk about is going to be that buzz bait, okay? This is a buzz bait made, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right. I'm a redneck, okay? I went to county school, so forgive me if I get this wrong, but it's a Brazalo bushwhacker buzz bait, okay? If you notice, this buzz bait's a little bit different. It's got this bead on here, and it puts out a different sound because the blade is actually ticking that blade. It's a hand-built custom buzz bait, I guess you could say. It's just a good buzz bait, handmade buzz bait. It looks a lot different. The trailer that I'm using, I believe, is a Bass Reaper, but you can get all this stuff at Vantage Tackle. So if you're unfamiliar with Vantage Tackle, what that is, it's a company that's kind of like Tackle Warehouse, where you go on there and you can order any kind of baits that you necessarily want, although these are custom hand-built baits. Here's one of the main things that sold me on the company, okay? Number one, it's affordable, okay? So we're like the chatterbait that I'm going to show you. It's a hand-tied chatterbait. Back of the boat Brad here, wearing out fish earlier, as you'll see in Monday's video, with that chatterbait, and it's like $8. I mean, it's very, very affordable. The buzz bait, it's around the same price. I mean, the stuff's very affordable, and it's handmade, quality-made stuff by regular blue-collar people like ourselves, who just enjoy bass fishing. And you can all get them at Vantage Tackle. If you want to save 25%, use Colton 25. You'll get 25% off your purchase, and it helps me out a whole lot. Helps them out at Vantage Tackle a whole lot. They took very, very good care of me, and I greatly appreciate it. But either way, that bushwhacker buzzbait is going to be great for those muddy water conditions. We got a lot of wind blowing in. Let's like today, we got 40-mile-an-hour wind gust, okay, in most of the areas that we're in. So using that buzzbait, I can cast it. I'm comfortable with it. It puts out a lot of noise, a lot of disturbance, and fish can't stand it. The one that hit it earlier today acted like I just absolutely just made it mad. All right, the next one that I want to talk about is a chatterbait, okay? This chatterbait is also a Bravalo. You can also get it at vantagetackle.com. And but it's one of the biggest things that got me on this chatterbait. One of the biggest reasons that I wanted to try this chatterbait. I don't know if you can see it, but right here on the blade, there's like these little arms, and it actually holds the pin in the back right here. Well, those actually scrape the head of that chatterbait, I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of puts out, I believe, the same sound kind of as that jackhammer. Maybe a little bit different sound just because of those pins, but the fish absolutely love it. This color right here in particular just worked really, really good today, simply because we're dealing with extremely muddy water in most cases. And I've got that freeloader on the back, and everything will be linked down in the description, guys, where you can just go down there and click on it. Now, the last one that I want to talk about, y'all may get tired of hearing about it, but I'm catching fish on it like crazy. So either way, it's going to be that swim bait, okay? That 3-inch Mayer all-terrain smallie smasher head, 3/8 ounce. As you can see, the head's kind of peeled back on it. It's been beat up today. A lot of these fish, they're just some of the fish that we're seeing, they're just roaming, and I can just cover a lot of water with that. And you know, with those strong winds, I can cast directly into the wind, no problem with the spinning setup, all that good stuff. But either way, guys, that's what the fish are doing. That's what they're biting this week. Make sure to use that stuff. If you need any of it, make sure to click down in the description below. It'll carry you to VantageTackle.com. Anything that you can't get from Vantage Tackle, I'll have it linked also in the shop. You can check it out there, and I greatly appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you next time.